Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Bhagavatam study from Canto 7. So, in the previous weeks, we have been discussing from chapter 1 and chapter 2, chapter 3, wherein we saw how Lord is neither partial nor impartial, has been established by both Sukadeva Goswami and Narada Muni, having stated that in order to explain that how Lord is neither partial nor impartial, but is simply reciprocal, there is a nice pastime is explained. The pastime about Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakasipu. So we saw how after Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu in order to pacify his family members like his mother Diti, Hiranyaksha's wife Vrishabhanu and Hiranyaksha's sons. He spoke so many philosophical things, quoting a conversation that took place between Yamaraj and the queens of Ushinara king. So eventually they were pacified. But then Hiranyakashipu calls all his entire army soldiers. He says that I'm going to perform tapasya. So I want to get powers. As a result of that, I can take revenge for the death of my brother. I can kill Vishnu. So in the meantime, the reason by which the Devatas and Vishnu are faring well is the Brahmanas, Brahmanical culture, cows, study of the Vedas, performance of the yajnas, etc. etc. So wherever the things are being performed, please go and destroy all those places. Don't allow anybody to perform any kind of Vedic cultural things. So that the Devatas become weak. If Devatas become weak, Vishnu also becomes weak, and it will be easy to kill him for me. So while the soldiers were engaged in destroying all these places where Vedic culture is getting followed, Hiranyakashipu goes to Vindhyachala mountain and performs severe austerities without even worrying that his entire body was being eaten by ants and his body covered by ant hill. Like that, he performed tapasya for a long time, almost 100 celestial years. Then the Devatas, looking at the effects of Hiranyakashipu's tapasya, which he producing intense heat from his body, from his bones, and burning the entire universe, they approaches Brahma. And Brahma tells, no, what can be done? We cannot do anything. You need to wait for the right time. So they inform Brahma that, my dear Brahma, see, this fellow is performing tapasya to replace you, to get your position. So when you are going to give blessings, kindly be careful. Don't do that mistake. If you do that, his intention is to change everything, the order of the universe. Those people who do good, currently they are going to upper planets. Those who do sin, they are going to Naraka. And they want to do exactly opposite. Those who are doing sense gratification, they'll go to heaven. Those who are following pious activities, they'll go to hell. You want to change the order of the universe opposite. So kindly do not do that. That will be detrimental for the entire universe. So Brahma says, okay, no problem, I will do the needful. So immediately Lord Brahma approaches Hiranyakashipu. First he was not able to find. Eventually when he found, his body is uncovered by the flesh, only bones are there. Then immediately from his kamandalu, he took little water and threw on Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu's body became manifested. It became 1,000 times much powerful than the previous body, and 1,000 times much beautiful than the previous one. And beautiful, golden looking, goldenly shining, gold shining body. And then Hiranyakashipu fell flat at the feet of Brahma and offered wonderful prayers, attributing all the qualities and activities of Supreme Lord to Brahma. Because he want to flatter Brahma so that he can get the necessary blessings. And Brahma says, my dear son, enough is enough. Please tell me what do you want. My audience will never go in waste. I'll give you whatever you want. Please ask. Then he thought that if I ask that I want to become immortal, Brahma will say that I am going to die. How can I make you immortal? Then Hiranyakashipu asked the blessing in such a way that there will be no death for him. And more than that, Hiranyakashipu said, I want all the mystic potency that you have. That means, other than your position, I should be like you. And everyone should be listening to me. No one can stand in front of me. And I will be able to control everyone, including all the great sages. What to speak of the Devatas and other lower beings. So Brahmaji said, okay. So today we will discuss what Brahma said. In the last chapter we saw what all asked by Hiranyakashipu. Now Brahma responds after receiving the blessings, what Hiranyakashipu would do. Those things will be mentioned in the future verses. So let us begin chapter 4. Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the universe. He conquers the Devatas. The fourth chapter describes how Hiranyakashipu, in hatred of Lord Vishnu, defeats the Devatas and also describes Prahlada's qualities which arose from his Prema Bhakti. This chapter is very big, but there are only two important sections. So, after receiving the blessings from Brahma, what did Hiranyakashipu do? And then, as a result of that, how the Devatas responded. So, based on the activity that are done by Hiranyakashipu, what was the condition of Devatas, how they were responded. They are the two important sections. And in that response, we'll see the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Why and how, the connection and all we'll try to see today. This is a small chapter, 46 verses are there, not many notes are there. So let us try to see. Sri Narada Uvacha
श्रीनारद उवाच
Evam Vruta Shatadrtir
एवं वृता शतधृतिर्
Hiranyakashipor Ata
हिरण्यकशिपोरथा
Prada Tattapasa Prito
प्रादात् तत्तपसा प्रीतो
Varam Tasya Sudurlabhan.
वरांस्तस्य सुदुर्लभान्. Narad Muni continued, O Lord Brahma was very much satisfied by Hiranyakashipu's austerities, which were difficult to perform. Therefore, when solicited for benedictions, he indeed granted them, although they were rarely to be achieved.
Yeah. Thus requested by Hiranyakashipu, pleased with his austerities, Brahma granted his wishes, which were difficult to grant. The Devatas already warned Hiranyakashipu, Lord Brahma, my dear sir, please don't grant him the benedictions what he desires, because he want to dethrone you. But still, in order to stop Hiranyakashipu there itself, if he continues to perform more tapasya, he will deserve more blessings. And Brahma knew, not that Brahma does not know, he gives the benedictions. He also says that though I am giving the benedictions, but do you have the capacity to hold these benedictions? So saying that, he offers all the benedictions. Sri Brahmo Vacha
श्रीब्रह्मोवाच
Tate me durlabha pumsham
ताते मे दुर्लभा पुंसाम्
Yan vrinishve mama
यान् वृणीषे वरान् मम
Tatapi Vitaramyanga
तथापि वितराम्यङ्ग
Varan Yadyapi Durlabhan.
वरान् यद्यपि दुर्लभान्. Lord Brahma said, O Hiranyakashipu, these benedictions for which you have asked are very difficult to obtain for most men. Nonetheless, O my son, I shall grant you them, although they are generally not available.
So Brahma says, oh my dear son, although these benedictions which you have requested are difficult to obtain, I shall grant you those rare boons. It is very difficult to offer such kind of benedictions. Till now, no one asked such kind of benedictions. For the first time, Hiranyakashipu is asking such benedictions. Though those boons are rarely attained, I will grant those difficult boons if you can tolerate them. Though he would attain those boons, they would still not be attained. Though Brahma is giving all the benedictions, for Hiranyakashipu they are not required only. In one sense, he is already most powerful. So all these benedictions he took, but we see that in the future, though he wanted to become immortal, but he could not continue for a long time. Of course, sometime he was there, he could exhibit his power and position and influence and all. Though he desired to stay eternally, but it did not happen. So Brahma knew. So my dear son, though you are asking so many big benedictions, it will not be possible. And there is one more person who also asked such kind of benedictions. His name was Sahasra Kavacha. He also worshipped, I suppose, Surya only. Surya or Lord Brahma, one of these two. I don't remember exactly whom. Whether it is Surya or whether it is Brahma, he performed severe austerities. So when the deity appeared to offer him benedictions, he said that I want immortality. They said, no, no, we cannot give that boon. That is not possible. We ourselves are not immortal. Then he said that his name was Dambodbava. He said that I should have 1000 armors, 1000 kavachas, and a person uh, had to only when all these 1000 kavachas are removed from me, then only I can be killed. Then, in order to remove one kavacha, one need to fight with me for one complete year. And whoever is able to remove one kavacha of mine, he will die. He should die immediately. After removing my kavacha, he should immediately die. So that means, so that Dambodhava thought that, so if at all I have to die, 1000 people need to fight with me for 1000 years, one year each, in order to remove one kavacha. And those who succeed removing one kavacha, they will die. And somebody else has to try to remove second kavacha. Somebody else has to try to kill third kavacha. Like that, 1000 people. And 1000 one first person only should be able to kill me. So that really thought that much is not possible. I am so powerful. I don't think that anybody can remove my even one kavacha. What to speak of 1000 kavachas? So eventually he became known as Sahasra Kavacha. And afterwards he began to torment all the great sages, not allowing them to perform any tapasya. Defeated all the devatas such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, etc. etc. So he created great havoc because he is not a small ordinary person, he is so powerful. Even devatas also could not stand in front of him and fight with him for one long year. It is not a fight for 1 day, 2 day, one full year, 365 days one has to fight with him, withstanding his force. And afterwards only one will be able to remove one kavacha. So like that. So there are some asuras who are very intelligent. They ask benedictions like that. Your Hiranyakashipu put so many conditions. I should not die inside the home, outside the home. I should not die any of the 14 planetary systems. I should not die during the daytime, during the nighttime. I should not die with any weapon which is alive or dead weapon. I should not die with any object which is weapon and which is not weapon. I should not be killed by any species that has been created by Brahma. And so, and I should have all the mystic potencies that Brahma has, and no one should be able to stand in front of me. If at all somebody is powerful, they should not be able to stand and fight with me for a long time in front of. They should be defeated immediately. And Vishnu Purana says that those who kill me, and the next one instant, they should be able to kill my the entire army. If they are failed to kill my entire army, I will regain my life again. So, so intellectual calculations. So that's how they think. They want to avoid death by all means. So like that. Tato jagama bhagavan
ततो जगाम भगवान्
amoganugraho vibhuhu
अमोघान् उग्रहो विभुः
पूजितो सुरवर्येण
पूजितो सुरवर्येण
स्तूयमाना प्रजेश्वरै.
स्तूयमाना प्रजेश्वरै. Then Lord Brahma, who awards infallible benediction, departed, being worshipped by the best of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, and being praised by great sages and saintly persons.
Yeah, having said that, so my dear son, if you have the capacity to withhold these benedictions, I am ready to award. Please take. So like that. Then Lord Brahma, whose mercy is infallible, who is worshipped by the best of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, Asuravarya, and praised by the Devatas, departed. So Devatas are also happy in one sense because you stopped him there only. If he will perform more austerities, then he will become more deserving person. He will simply say, "Oh, my dear Brahma, I want your throne. Please get away." That is also possible. So stopped him immediately so that he will not ask at least that benediction. So now, what did Hiranyakashipu do, having received such wonderful benedictions? एवं लब्धावरो दैत्यो
Evam labdhavaro daityo
बिभृद्हेममयं वपुः
bibhradhemamayam vapuhu.
भगवती अकरो द्वेषम्
Bhagavati akaro dvesham
भ्रातुर्वदम् अनुस्मरन्
भ्रातुर्वधम अनुस्मरन्
सा विजित्या दिशा सर्वा
सविजित्य दिशा सर्वां
लोकांश्चात्रीन् महासुरः
लोकांश्च त्रीन्महासुरः
देवासुरमनुष्येन्द्रा
देवासुरमनुष्येन्द्र
गन्धर्वा गरुडोरगान्
गन्धर्व गरुडोरगान्
विद्याद्रान्
सिद्धचारण विद्याधरान्
ऋषीन् पितृपतीन् मनून्
ऋषिं पितृपतिं मनुन्
पिशाशेषान्
यक्षरक्ष पिशाचेशान्
प्रेतभूतापतीनपि
प्रेतभूतपतिन् अपि
सर्वसत्त्वापतीन् जित्वा
सर्वसत्त्वपतिं जित्वा
वशम् आनीय विश्वजेत्
वशम् आनीय विश्वजित्
जहारालोकपालानाम्
जहारलोकपालानां
स्थानानि स तेजसा
स्थानानि सह तेजसाम्. The demon Hiranyakashipu, having thus been blessed by Lord Brahma and having acquired a lustrous golden body, continued to remember the death of his brother, and therefore he be envious of Lord Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu became the conqueror of the entire universe. Indeed, that great demon conquered all the planets in the three worlds, upper, middle, and lower, including the planets of the human beings, the Gandharvas, the Garudas, the great serpents, and the Siddhas, Charanas, and Vidyadharas, the great saints, Yamaraj and Manus, the Yakshas and Rakshasas, the Pishachas and their masters, and the masters of the ghosts and the bhutas. He defeated the rulers of all the other planets where there are living entities and brought them under his control. Conquering the abodes of all, he seized their power and influence.
Yeah, remembering that Lord Vishnu had killed his brother in order to kill Vishnu. Before killing Vishnu, you want to defeat all other species. So he went to each and every abode, 14 planetary systems, and defeated each and every person in all the abodes. After whom he defeated? Deva, Asura, Manushya, Indra, Gandharva, Garuda, Uraga, Siddha, Charana, Vidyadhara, Rishi, Pitru, Manu, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Pishasha, Preta, Bhuta. So like that. Just 1 minute. Yes, Puji. Okay, Puji. Correction. Thank you. Okay. So all the species that we can think of in the entire universe, all of them were defeated. No one is left. Only plants are not defeated, or animals, or jalachalas, something like that. The very, very lower species, otherwise all powerful species are all defeated, including Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Oraga, Garuda, Oraga, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Gandharva, Apsara. So every kind of species are completely defeated, and he did not stop there. He brought them under his control. He kind of arrested everyone, and then he stole the places of all the devatas and their powers. So the wealth, the palaces, everything that belongs to all these variety of people, everything is stolen by Hiranyakashipu. So he is the sole ruler of the entire universe now. The entire universe is under his control. All the species all over the universe are under his prison. like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, here it is mentioned that even the Yamaraja was under the control of Hiranyakashipu.
Yes.
So that means does it mean that means everyone's death is in Yamaraja's hand, he looks after that department. So when Yamaraj is conquered, now everyone's death is in Hiranyakashipu's hand. Is it like that?
No. Yamaraja only supervises the three lokas: Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Svargaloka, and the below lower planets. His power is only up to this. But Hiranyakashipu's power is all the way up to Satyaloka also. He conquered all the sages. The sages did not fight. They submitted. Okay, sir, whatever you say, we'll listen to you. We will see. It is not complete. Just we started, na. It is up to 20th verse. We will see what exactly he is doing. So now we will not understand what exactly he is doing. In the
Okay.
future, we'll understand. So when the sages are under his control, then what to speak of Yamaraj? Yamaraj is also one among the devatas. So now, for example, Yamaraj is telling, okay, today these people should die. So Hiranyakashipu will say, hey, today they should not die. Somebody else should die. So Yamaraj has to follow his order. Like that.
That's what I explained. Yeah. Thank you.
देवोद्यानाश्रयाजुष्टम्
देवो यानाश्रयाजस्थम्
अध्यास्ते स्म त्रिपिष्टपम्
अध्यास्ते संस्त्रीस्तिस्तम्
महेन्द्रभवनं साक्षान्
महेन्द्रभवनं साक्षान्
निर्मितं विश्वकर्मणा
निमित्तं विश्वकर्मणा
त्रैलोक्यलक्ष्मी आयतनम्
लक्ष्मी आयतनम्
अद्युवासा किलार्तिमात्
अयुद्वासा अखिल रिद्धिमात्. Translation: Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence, began residing in heaven, with its famous Nandan garden, which is enjoyed by the demigods. In fact, he resided in the most opulent palace of Indra, the king of heaven. The palace has been directly constructed by the demigod architect Vishwakarma and was as beautifully made as if the goddess of fortune of the entire universe resided there.
Having defeated all the different variety of species, especially their leaders, subjugating everyone under his control, arresting everyone, Indra made his residence, Hiranyakashipu made his residence in Amaravati, the abode of Indra. Mahendra Bhavanam. Mahendra is Indra. He made his residence in Indra's Bhavan, in the heavenly planets. The abode of the wealth of the three worlds, which was built by Vishwakarma and endowed with beautiful celestial gardens. So, what are the opulences of Amaravati? That will be presented in the next 4-5 verses. And basically, because he is the Lord of the entire universe, and he began to rule the entire universe by sitting on the throne of Indra. Obviously, anyone would do that because Indra is the Lord of the universe in one sense. So now he replaced Indra. At least he did not do it with Brahma. As of now, he is doing with Indra only. So he arrested Indra and he is staying in Indra's palace and sitting on the throne of Indra and ruling over the entire universe. Now, a couple of verses talks about the opulence of Amaravati, the city of Indra. Let us see what kind of opulence are there in the city of Indra, Amaravati. Yatra vidruma sopana
Yatra vidruma sopana
Mahamarakatabuva
Mahamarakatabuva
Yatra Spatika Kudhyani
Yatra Spartika Kudyani
Vaidurya Stamba Panktaya
Vaidurya Stambha Panktaya
Yatra Chitra Vitanani
Yatra Chitra Vitanani
Padmaragasanani cha
Padmaragasanani cha
Payafenani bhasaya
Payafena Nibhashaya
मुक्तादामा परिच्छदा
मुक्तादाम परिच्छदा
पूजादिभिर्नूपुरैर्देव्या
पूजद्भिर्नूपुरे दैव्या
शब्दयन्त्र्यायितस्ततः
शब्दयन्त्य इतस्ततः
रत्नस्थलीषु पश्यन्ति
रत्नस्थलीषु पश्यन्ति
क्षुदति सुन्दरं मुखम्
उदति सुन्दरं मुखम्
तस्मिन् महेन्द्रभवने
तस्मिन् महेन्द्रभवने
महाबलो महामना
महाबलो महामना
महामना निर्जितलोक एकरात्
महामना निर्जितलोक एकराट्
प्रेमे विवन्द्याङ्घ्रि युगासुरादिभिः
रेमे भिवन्द्याङ्घ्रियुगासुरादिभिः
प्रतापितैरूर्जितचण्डशासना
प्रतापितैरूर्जितचण्डशासना. The steps of King Indra's residence were made of coral. The floor was bedecked with invaluable emeralds. The walls were of crystals and the columns of Vaidurya stone. The wonderful canopies were beautifully decorated. The seats were bedecked with rubies, and the silk bedding, as white as foam, was decorated with pearls. The ladies of the palace, who were blessed with beautiful teeth and most wonderfully beautiful faces, walk here and there in the palaces, their ankle bells tinkling melodiously, and saw their own beautiful reflections in the gems. The demigods, however, being very much oppressed, had to bow down and offer obeisances at the feet of Hiranyakashipu, who chastised the demigods very severely and for no reason. Thus, Hiranyakashipu lived in the palace and severely ruled everyone.
Yeah, the palace of Indra is being described here. The steps of Indra's residence are made up of coral. The floors were bedecked with emeralds. The walls were made up of crystal. And the lines of columns were made up of Vaidurya gem. Yeah, the columns are bedecked with Vaidurya gem. Mhm. There were colorful canopies, seats bedecked with rubies, and the beds as white as foam decorated with pearls. The ladies of the palace with beautiful teeth, while walking here and there in the palace with ankle bells tinkling, would look at their beautiful faces reflected in the gems. His feet were worshipped by the afflicted devatas. All the devatas would worship his feet. They would massage and all these things. Ruling with severity, the sole ruler, having conquered all the abodes, powerful, proud Hiranyakashipu enjoyed in the palace. So, having kept under all the devatas under his control, treating them as his slaves, he was enjoying day after day. Because it is devatas who requested Lord Vishnu to kill Hiranyaksha. So, before killing Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu wanted to take revenge upon the devatas, who requested the impartial Vishnu to become partial to the devatas. That's what he said in the past. Vishnu is supposed to be impartial, he became partial by siding the devatas. Now he lost his position, he can be killed. He was considered to be the best among all the living entities in the entire universe because he was impartial. Having become supportive of devatas, he lost his position and he lost his greatness. So he can be killed easily now. So before killing the Vishnu, he want to exhibit his anger upon the devatas by torturing them. So like that. So next, what else was there in the heaven? Tamangamattam madhunoru gandhina
तमङ्गमत्तं मधुनोरुगन्धिना
विवृत्तताम्राक्षमशेषधिष्णपा
विवृत्तताम्राक्षम अशेषधिष्ण Dhishnapam
upasatopayanapanivirvina
upasatopayanapani
tribistapo yoga bahula balauja sampadam.
Tribhistapo yoga balaujasam padam. O my dear king, Hiranyakashipu was always drunk on strong smelling wines and liquors, and therefore his coppery eyes were always rolling. Nonetheless, because he had powerfully executed great austerities in mystic yoga, although he was abominable, all but the three principal demigods, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, personally worshipped him to please him by bringing him various presentations with their own hands.
Except three people, Vina Tribis, except Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, rest all the universe serving him out of fear of Hiranyakashipu. Being the abode of austerity, yoga, physical and sensual strength, intoxicated with strong smelling liquor with rolling red eyes, Hiranyakashipu was worshipped with offerings by all the devatas except for Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Everyone is doing as dictated by Hiranyakashipu. Ye Indra wo karo, ye Varuna wo karo, ye Soma ye karo. So they would do all the menial services as told by Hiranyakashipu. That's how he was exhibiting his power, his position on all the devatas. He was worshipped by devatas who brought gifts, but by not Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva. Though he was fixed in Adharma like King Vena, in his kingdom the land gave products without cultivation. So all over the surface of the earth, no need to do cultivation. You would all just look at earth. Yes, produce rice, produce wheat, produce dal, whatever. Earth would produce on its own without tilling the land, without providing the water, without doing any removal of the weeds and all. Earth would give as it is. But in the case of Vena, earth withheld all the food grains. Earth stopped producing all the food grains. But in the case of Hiranyakashipu, earth does not have that capacity to do it because she is afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Though Hiranyakashipu was fixed in Dharma like King Vena, in his kingdom the lands gave products without cultivation. However, that was out of fear because they would be immediately killed if they did not do so. Vena did not have such power. Thus, Hiranyakashipu was turned to ashes. Thus King Vena was turned to ashes by Bhrigu and other sages. But on the other hand, Hiranyakashipu, however, took the powers of Bhrigu and other sages at the very beginning only. Because he defeated all the sages. Defeating means he took away their powers and they all became powerless. They can't utter a curse, they can't do anything to Hiranyakashipu. So no one is powerful, everyone is powerless in front of Hiranyakashipu. Except three personalities, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. This is the position, this is the condition, what was happening during that time. Like that. Chagur Mahendra Sanamoja Sasitam.
Jagurmahendrasanamoja sthitam
Vishwa Vasustumburu Asmadadaya.
Vishwavasustumburusasmadadaya
Gandharva Siddha Rushayostu Vanmuhur.
Gandharvasiddha Shayostu Vanmuhu
Vidyadharashchapsarasascha Pandava.
Vidyadharashchapsarasascha Pandava. O Maharaj Yudhishthir, descendant of Pandu, by dint of his personal power, Hiranyakashipu, being situated on the throne of King Indra, controlled the inhabitants of all the other planets. The two Gandharvas, Vishwavasu and Tumburu, I myself, and the Vidyadharas, Apsaras, and sages, all offered prayers to him again and again just to glorify him.
Says that the two Gandharvas, Vishwavasu, Tumburu, and I myself, all the other Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Apsaras, Siddhas, and all the other sages, all offered prayers to him, fixed on Indra's throne by his strength. Normally, all these sages would offer prayers to Lord Vishnu. chanting Vedic mantras. But now everyone had to chant mantras for the pleasure of Hiranyakashipu. This is the condition. No one can say no to Hiranyakashipu. Everyone simply had to listen to what Hiranyakashipu says. And he is the Lord, he is the master. All the Apsaras would dance for his pleasure. All the Gandharvas would play instruments for his pleasure and sing for his pleasure. That is what is happening. So kindly note that very soon it is going to disconnect because this is like free version, 40 minutes wala. So request all the devotees to rejoin the same link. I will also start. So sorry, the teams some problem was there today, some issue. So basically in this way, Hiranyakashipu is controlling all the devatas, all the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, and exhibiting his anger upon them by torturing them, by making them to do all the menial activities. Everyone. He would alone do all the universal activities. He would alone control all the devatas. And he would tell what is to be done, what is not to be done. As he planned, he wanted to do ulta, he was already doing it ulta. Those who are pious, they would